Yo, what up, Couch Gang? Mr. Hamilton. Thank you guys for joining me. I recently, last night actually, went to go see Fantastic Four, and so this is my review. If you have not seen the movie, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So if you go anything past this, not my fault. Fantastic Four. What can I say? It was a great movie. It was a great movie. I don't want to say fantastic because no, it was, but it was a fantastic movie. It was really good. Um, let's start with the characters. Loved all of them. The Thing was actually like funny. You know, they didn't make him all like super depressed or trying to hide so much. Like, you know, he was the kids loved him. You know, there was those senses where he did miss himself, but for the most part, like he was cool with who he was. Johnny Storm, I liked this version of him because they didn't make him an idiot. Like he was actually smart. He actually had his own way of doing things, but his mental capacity was still he was a very smart person. Of course, he had like the smart mouth and his attraction to Silver Surfer and stuff like that. But they at least made him smart. Like he figured out stuff on his own as well. And of course, Reed Richards, Pedro Pascal killed it as Mr. Fantastic. Like that's all I can say. Like he killed it. Silver Surfer was dope, but Galactus, this version of Galactus was fire. Like when they were in his ship, he looked massive and just like, whoa, like just I am that person. They watched him destroy a planet with ease. And so that's something that I really enjoyed was that whole thing with Galactus. I was worried that they weren't going to do him right. I think this has been the best portrayal of Galactus like ever. Um, the storyline was cool. I really liked how they kind of went over their origin story, and then Silver Surfer comes and just pretty much, hey, yeah, your planet's been marked. He's coming. Good luck. She's like pretty much, hey, say goodbye to your loved ones, everybody, and it's gonna be over with. But one thing I really liked about the Silver Surfer is they really portrayed her speed like really well. Like she was moving. Like when she was ready to move, she was moving. And that's one thing I really enjoyed, her being able to like just walk through walls and spaceship and stuff like that. That was cool. Back to like the Reed Richards things. I like how smart they made him. Like Tony Stark is tech smart, but Reed Richards is up there doing equations on the board on the fly. He's figuring stuff out. When they were in the ship and they were like trying to get close to the black hole, he's like, oh, this and this and that. Like that just shows how smart he is. And then obviously the big thing was Franklin Richards has the power cosmic. That is huge. That is so huge. And with like the future of the MCU of what they're doing, it's crazy. But overall, it was a good movie. The humor was on point. It wasn't corny. It wasn't forced. The action was great. There were some really cool action sequences, happening. When Galactus is there, it's awesome. Like it keeps you in the movie like all the whole time. But it's also just like it's a really good family movie. And then what my thing is, Sue is a badass. Like once she had Franklin, and then like the Silver Surfer was trying to get her, she looked at Johnny and was like, kill her. Like not just like kill her. Like she was ready. And then at the end, like you see her powers go all out to like try to save Franklin. And they really work, and like the way they work together as a team is great. And yeah, I mean, Marvel really cooked with this one. I got to say that Marvel really cooked with this one. It felt good. It felt like Marvel was back to the basics, back to how they made movies, And I think sometimes I think they do it on purpose. Like they've kind of been dropping doo doo, and then all of a sudden they're gonna like hit it out the park with these next two Avenger movies. Yeah, and I know what you guys want to talk about, the post credit scene. It that little scene. Sue's reading a book to Franklin. She's like, hey, I'm going to go get a new one. She comes back. She has her powers because she knows that somebody's there. And you come around the corner, and a hooded figure is sitting there, and Franklin's touching his face, and it's Doom. And you see that it's Doom. So you're like, oh my goodness, what is going to happen? And then it just ends. And so here's my theory. With Kevin Feige talking about the soft reboot, I believe that they are going to reset the MCU, and they've talked about it, but I think they're going to reset the MCU between Doomsday and Secret Wars. In the comic book, Secret Wars does actually reset the Marvel Universe. And it's happened multiple times where they've reset everything. And I think between Doomsday and Secret Wars, I think that is where they're headed. Franklin Richards is going to grow up. I guarantee you Doom's going to use his power to open up the multiverse. We're going to get Battle World. And then Secret Wars happens. And in Secret Wars, in the comic books, Franklin Richards like challenges Doctor Doom, not even like in a battle, but of like ideals. Like they like go back and forth with these morals. And ultimately, I think it's Franklin, if I'm not mistaken, like he helps reset the universe. And so for the MCU, when it comes to the movies, they can do that. They can reset the universe. They can get rid of the multiverse, reset the multiverse, all the incursions and everything that's happened. All that resets, and we go back to the beginning of just the regular. And then it allows the Marvel Universe to just have X-Men inside the universe. And like Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, they can just put these people all together without having to explain how this and this. No, this is just one big universe now. Now that they have the rights, they can reset the universe and go about bringing in all these characters together where they can make this a bigger cohesive universe, which is something cool to think about. And then they're going to, from what I understand, they're going to recast people like Captain America and Iron Man. And it's just like, I think it's going to be something where it's just a little bit different. Like, you know, maybe Tony's this way instead of that way. Maybe, you know, it's this way instead of that way. So I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do it, but I do believe that they're going to do it, and it's going to be crazy. But in conclusion, Fantastic Four was great. 9 out of 10 movie for me. There wasn't really... People complained about the CGI. I don't care about that. It still looked good. Obviously, when you're dealing with somebody who stretches beyond what you can do, like, obviously it's going to look weird. So you're trying to make something not real look real. So, I'm not even worried about it. Like I said, now it's about to be a year before we see another Marvel movie, and that's kind of depressing. But, hey, I think that's why Thor did his little thing about leaving, because they know that they're going to reset the Marvel Universe. They can get younger actors, and they can start doing other stuff. So, Young Avengers maybe? Like, it depends on how deep the reboot really goes, or the reset. Yeah, it's going to be called a reset, or a reboot, but really what's happening is in Secret Wars, the universe is going to end, or that Marvel Universe is going to end, and it's going to start something new, and that's how we're going to get new heroes. That's how we're going to get the X-Men. All of that's happening. They're closing, and it's not just the MCU. They're closing the book on the entire... They're considering that the entire Marvel Universe is connected. Like X-Men and all these people, that's why they're in Secret Wars. They're coming in from different... But that whole, as a universe, is going to get and restarted, kick-started again. Franklin Richards can really take, and he can look at everything and be like, this is what I'm going to create a new universe where all this is happening. Boom. We got the new Marvel Universe. And that's what's going to happen. So, very, very, very interesting, and very excited to see where the future of Marvel's going. So, yeah, if you guys watched the movie, let me know in the comments, what did you guys think of the movie? Did I miss anything? What did you guys like? What was your favorite part? Who was your favorite Fantastic Four character? I appreciate you. What you guys think about my theory about how, you know, the universe is going to keep going and then reboot, resetting, all that. Let me know. Thank you guys so much. If you guys like my content, you guys made it to the end of the review, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much. Also, go ahead and follow my TikTok and my Twitch. A lot of stuff going on over there. We're on the road to 500, guys. We're like 10 away. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me on the couch for another movie review. I'm Mr. Hamilton. This is On the Couch. Peace.